Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hardcore World of Warcraft. Now you might be wondering to yourself, why is this guy playing this game? And simply put, it is WoW's 20th year anniversary, which means yes, this degenerate game is almost old enough to drink, and to celebrate that, they have released some fresh servers, so you too can go back and relive the glory days of 2004. Again, I guess. A lot of YouTubers that I enjoy watching on a regular basis were coming back to play, so I kind of got a little bit inspired as well, and I figured I may as well make a video for it. So as you may or may not know, I do have a little bit of hardcore experience. I have not gotten that far. I think my max was somewhere around level 20-21, and that was on the Alliance side as a Dwarven warlock. So this time we are rolling Horde, and I figured I'm very sick and tired of the Alliance area. I've done it enough times. Horde is kind of something new, something fresh, and I think it's going to be a great choice. For my choice of class and race, I have decided to go with a Tauren Druid, because Taurens are cool and Druids are cool. That's all I got. I don't know, man. It looks cool. I've definitely seen like streamers and stuff use like beast form to travel really fast and efficiently. That seems appealing. I want to turn into a bear. That seems pretty cool. I'm happy with my druid choice. I think it's going to go pretty well. I also spent a decent amount of time making sure I would look nice, making sure my character looked the way that I wanted. Really, this is a stupid process. You do it a little bit when you zoom in sometimes, but like, I don't even know, man. I went for like the single horn option because I thought it might stand out the most, and I just I forget all the time. But whatever, right? Who cares? I named myself Mudan, which is just my typical fantasy name. I don't know really where it started or came from, but I just picked that when I do like fantasy character names. And here we go, jumping right into it. I almost always watch cutscenes, but here there's XP to be earned every second in a cutscene. People are out there farming mobs, getting their gains. We have to get up out of here. So let's get right up out of here and hit... Holy shit, this is AIDS. If you have never played World of Warcraft before, let's just be real, you're not watching this video, but just in case you are, just in case there's someone out there who's not played this game before, add-ons are basically client-side mods that will not change gameplay, but it will change UI and it can change audio and stuff like that. It's just UI improvements because holy cow is this UI outdated as hell. And it's really awesome, and I will address, okay, I'm using rested XP, alright, if you know rested XP is, some people get flack for using it, fuck you, I don't care, I've peaked at like level 20 in this game, I'm going in hardcore, I'm gonna get railed, there's scripted quests where you die scripted, and I don't want to accept those on accident, so lick me, okay, you probably use Questy, which is just rested XP for poor people, alright, I said what I said, fuck you, we're moving on. Now, it took me a while to get my add-ons how I wanted, but once I did, we were in business. And the first order of business is to get out of the starting zone, because we are destined for high-level gameplay. We're not going to get held back by these shackles of our starter village. So, I go to Chief Hawktua, and he's like, "Oh, so you want to leave so bad? Prove yourself and kill some birds out back." Alright, so we go kill animals out back. But it's not that simple because this server is new, brand new. So these starting zones are massively overpopulated. And if you have not played this game before, XP is only granted to the player who lands the first hit of damage on a mob. It's called mob tagging. So it is a mess. You can, I'm sure, very easily imagine how this goes. But to my surprise, it was actually a lot more organized than I thought. People were pretty spread out and standing right on top of respawn points. So I kind of just found my own little spot tucked away from everybody else and just kind of began the tedious process of killing birds literally off cooldown. Real quick, I just want to take a note at the gameplay. Obviously, it's the tutorial, very simple stuff, not the most thrilling stuff, right? Just kind of hitting the bird. Can we just take a moment to look at the death log? I think it's in the bottom left here at this moment. What? How are so many people dying right now? Like, what? I'm sure, right, because you can go anywhere, right? You can walk anywhere. I'm sure people are traveling. People are probably adventuring. Maybe they want to meet up with their friends in their starting zones. So they're going through high-level zones to get there. There can't be this many people doing that. There cannot be. How are this many people dying? I refuse to believe that this many people are dying to what we're looking at right now. I just had to get that out there. What's going on? Once I killed enough birds, I reported back to Mr. Tua, and he was impressed enough to send me to his wife and make me slave away for her for a while. He told me that she was at the well, so off to the well I went. Now, you gotta understand that I do not know what the fuck I am doing. Rested XP is literally carrying my dumbass. Dumb man follow fun triangle, and that's literally all that's happening. So right here, I'm kind of trying to figure out what Lady Hawktua even wants from me. Like, she's telling me to drink water from the well. I get that, so I'm trying to figure out how to get the water from the well. And I'm doing all this, and I didn't even notice that a line has formed for this goddamn water. Now, part of me finds this really, really cool. Like, I've seen it on the internet, like the lines and stuff in MMOs, and to see it in front of me is, like, weirdly kind of awesome. But the other part of me is like, am I sitting in line for water in a video game? And lucky for me, I had 4 minutes to contemplate before I had water. Shout out the guy who called me out for not being in line. I'm sorry. I literally didn't see the line. I would have done the line. I was just too busy trying to figure out how to play the game. I had no idea what was going on. But that one's on me, man. I take blame. But yeah, at this point, the village kind of all take turns making me their bitch. I think it's some kind of hazy ritual they do to get one last bit of use out of me before I leave this shithole, never to come back, by the way. And in between jobs, I would train with my druid trainer, Master Mistrunner. But I'm not gonna lie, his spells were kinda some mid, as I am no pussy healer. Unless it gets me into a dungeon or a raid, we'll make exceptions. So, with Mark of the Wild, Purple Burn, and Green Ball, I felt pretty ready to get out of this bumpkin town and to be somebody. So, one of my last tasks for the village took me to some sort of ravine. And when I saw some travelers climb up a path, I assumed it would be pretty safe for me to go down. Oh shit. Okay, that wasn't that bad though. Let's not do that again. Now, first entering here, I was a little bit nervous. I just did not know what to expect. Like, the Alliance area, I just kind of started to, like, really understand and get familiar with. And now, being on the Horde, it was just uncharted territory. But it did not take long for me to realize that these lackeys around here are indeed below me, and they cannot touch a guy of my caliber. Alright, so I had a quest over here to get the head of their leader, and this is what happens when people don't form lines. Anarchy. Now, a WoW player looks at this and knows exactly what's going on, but for those of you with lives or significant others, you might not know what's going on here, so allow me to explain. You see, we all have this quest to kill this one man, and as I said before, the first person to land damage on the target is the one who will get the rewards. So we are here, all of us, standing on the exact spot where the boss respawns, and we are all spamming our attack buttons, trying to get the first hit when he spawns. Now, luckily for me, there was someone actually smart in the room, and they formed a party with 5 of us, which is the max, and that allowed us to kind of increase our chance, because now just one of us needs to hit it out of the rest of the stragglers in the room, and if one of us gets it, we can all share the progress together. And thank God for that too, because boom, first respawn, we got it, and I was out of there. And thank God for that too, because that can get really, really ugly if you aren't paying attention or just get bad RNG. Foreshadowing for later, I have some bad moments. But feeling good, I moved on to my next quest, which was to dig up some shit, or something like that. I'm not really reading the quest text, I'm just following the arrow. But again, I am met with anarchy. Something about this area, people are just, it is just anarchy over here. And again, over here, someone suggested that we form a line, so it's kind of funny to see the beginning of the forming of the line, and I was a bit hesitant to jump into it, which maybe cost me some spots. But I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest, I did not feel as good about this line as I did with the last one. I feel like the people who didn't line up just got it done a lot faster than me, and I swear I saw people cut the line like twice. But that's the thing about lines, is like, if you can't threaten people with violence, how do you enforce them? Like, it's a joke, but it's a serious question. Like, how do you enforce a line over a video game? The answer is you don't. You just sit there and you just hope that the next people that show up walk in behind you. And people do. The line was really starting to form. But 5 minutes later, I was digging, and when I left, I took a nice little look at the line behind me, and my God, had it grown. Why do I enjoy this? Why do I enjoy raw degeneracy? I really don't know. It is genuinely degenerate, but there's something charming about it, right? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm degenerate. I Hearthstone back to Bumpkinville, and there's something kind of special about the first Hearthstone of the server. You know what I mean? There's something cool about it, right? I don't know. But I take my final goodbyes to the village people, and I leave hoping I never have to come back here. Now, I knew on my travels I would need money for supplies, so I decided to stop by the nearby town to see if they needed any work done, and sure enough, they did. I spent lots of time running around here until I started to have some UI issues and dropped a little reload to smooth things out. Yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Even now, I don't know if that mob is even hostile or dangerous, but that's not how I want to find out. Somehow this is my first time seeing the thing too, so I was genuinely so scared here. And this is really when I start to check the death hotspot add-on I have. So like I said, I got add-ons that kind of update the game and stuff. So I have one that shows on the map where people die the most frequently. So if you see red on the map, people die over there all the time. And it just kind of helps me stay aware and kind of know where to be. For example, I'm not going over here unless I have to. Unless I literally have to. I spent an hour or two killing the local animal life until I stumbled upon it. The well. This fucking well. This fucking well cost me so much time. Just look at my arrival time. 5:46. I finished this at 6:05. 20 minutes straight standing here doing nothing. Basically, you need to collect 2 stones around the well. But the issue is, like before, there's too many people in these starting areas, and the stones can't keep up. They're not respawning fast enough for just all these people flooding the servers at the same time. So there's no line to save us here. And first off, I will admit, I moved around way too much. I should have just like picked a spawn point and just stood on top of it and not moved for anything. But in the moment, it is so much harder to do that because there's mobs spawning on top of you that you have to not let them kill you. And then there's like rocks that spawn behind you and you're just like, okay, maybe I just go run and I go grab that rock real quick. And then you turn around and someone's already snapped it, and you turn around back to your old spot and someone's standing on your old spot. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I actually got kind of angry here. I was getting really pissed because it just felt like I was doing nothing. I wasn't leveling, I was just stopped, and I just was like at the will of RNG. It was genuinely miserable, and looking back, I love seeing the death log, as my competition is lessened with every name that shows up on it. So yeah, fuck the well. The well was rough. I hated the well, fuck the well. After that, I followed my next quest to, okay, well, this is happening a bit sooner than I would like. Honestly, I was really nervous going into here, but this area is still the tutorial, keeping in mind, and it definitely proved to be the tutorial because I'm pleased to say that there was nothing even notable that happened over here. Although I did turn this off, which, oh my god, thank god, this was driving me crazy. I went back into town and collected my payment for the work I'd done, and I decided to treat myself to a few things to bring on to my journey. The first is some milk, because for some reason that restores mana in Azeroth. Honestly, I shouldn't be too surprised knowing the Blizzard devs and their affinity for their freak-offs, but still, is this not weird to anybody else? The other thing I bought was a nice walking stick, because my legs had been getting a little bit tired after running around here, and honestly looking back, I think the devs named this as some sort of sick foreshadowing joke, because I didn't know it yet, but there was so much walking in my future. Then I'm right back to work. I steal from some goblins, stay the hell away from these things, kill some more wildlife, stay the hell away from those things, did another well, and thankfully at this point areas were already a lot less congested, and I didn't really have to worry about the stone competition. I almost died of this thing. Ransack a bunch of miners and break all their tools in front of them like some sort of terrorist. Assassinate some harpies, really almost died of this thing. Kill a bunch of these, and boom, we Hearthstone out. Easy ass game, easy levels. Now it's around this time for most people that the common side effects of playing an MMO for a long period of time really start to set in. You start to wonder things like, how did I get here? What am I doing with my life? What else could I be doing with all this time? But then, you hear it. That right there isn't just some in-game animation. It's a reminder of why we're here, and a motivator for what's to come. So, pushing these weak thoughts aside, I focused on some future decisions that were coming my way, and the first was professions. During my travels, I had begun to see some plants and some boulders here and there, and it was about time I started to think about what profession I was going to do, and let me tell you, I put a lot of thought into it. I made the educated and wise decision to go with alchemy and herbalism, and I'm pretty down for that because I'm pretty familiar with it, because on my last character I did the same thing. So at least for these first like 20 levels or so, I kind of know what I'm doing for the most part, and I kind of enjoy having a little bit of comfortability. But after asking the locals, I learned that there is no herbalist or alchemist in the town, so we'll have to wait until we reach some place called Thunderbluff, which I do not know where that is, but after checking my map, I realized that I probably will be getting there pretty soon, so I look forward to that. So with no professions to be doing here, we just go around collecting our payments of work from all the villagers, and one guy gives us some sweet pants for our troubles. Very happy about that. We also level up to the big 1-0 and get some new spells at our disposal, and I'm feeling pretty confident, feeling pretty good. I see all these people dying in the death log, and I feel good knowing that I am already better than them, and I'm having a good time playing so far. After fixing every problem this town has, Rested XP tells me to travel over to the Barrens, which does not sound like a very inviting name, but the journey is relatively smooth. I get the flight path and grab my first quest to, walk some more. Alright, let's just go to the crossroads then. At least that place sounds a lot more inviting. Spoilers, it's fucking not. Now, for the uninformed, it's very common for players to walk through high-level areas for a myriad of different reasons, and it's relatively safe as long as you stay alert and you stick to the road. So, I'm walking this path and looking at my map, trying to figure out where the hell the crossroads even is, and before this point, I had not realized how short the enemy render distance is. Like, it's not terrible, but it is by no means good at all. And I got a little too comfortable because I threw my map up to look up for the crossroads, and when I looked up from my map, yeah, I should have died here. I don't know why they de-aggroed, maybe God is watching this run, but after this moment, I wanted to get the fuck off of this road. I didn't want to leave the bridge, like I felt safe on the bridge, I felt good on the bridge, but we had to go. So I hauled my ass as fast as I could, and I felt incredibly relieved when we made it to town. When I finally got to town, I realized it was full of loser assworks, and being the superior race of Tauren, I decided it was best to be with my own people. Luckily for me, there was a local giving out rides to Thunder Bluff, which is the exact location I needed to go to get my professions. So I got in the first bat out of there and enjoyed the scenic route of the skies. The first time I took this method of fast travel when I was first playing World of Warcraft, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. While I still actually think it's a pretty cool fast travel system, I will admit all of that magic is long gone. It's nice to get a nice little AFK moment, but oh my gosh, sometimes it just feels like these flights go on forever. But I do like them, genuinely I do. Now we finally make it back to our first major city, and it's finally starting to feel like we're making a distance from that shitbox we've called a home our whole life. And hopefully you've kind of enjoyed this. I think this is where we'll stop here, but hopefully you have enjoyed this. I spent a lot of time working on this video, editing and whatnot, so I really appreciate if you guys just let me know what you think. Honestly, I got nothing to say, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. I said that 3 times now, fuck it, I'm literally rambling. Feel free to comment. I do respond to all comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.